Intro. Welcome back to my channel, Old Stoic. Ever wonder if she's dropping hints? She's totally into you, but just isn't saying it out loud. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down 8 subtle touches that mean she wants you bad, but she's keeping it on the sly. From those lingering hand grazes to accidental nudges, these are the signs you don't want to miss. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss more flirty tips like this one. Now, let's get started. Touch number 1, the playful tap. You're mid-conversation, sharing a laugh or swapping fascinating stories, and suddenly, her hand grazes your arm. Just for a second. Maybe she's laughing at your joke, lightly tapping your bicep in delight, or emphasizing a point with a brush of her fingers. It's subtle, it's casual, but trust me, it's deliberate. The light arm touch is her way of testing the waters. Why does this fleeting contact matter? Because the arm is a safe zone, non-threatening, non-intimidating, but still intimate enough to break the invisible wall of personal space. When she touches your arm, it means she's comfortable, intrigued, and possibly trying to signal that her interest in you goes beyond casual chatter. This isn't just happenstance. It's an invitation to notice her interest. She might not say it outright, but her body language is doing all the talking. She's testing your response. Will you lean in, laugh, make an equally flirty move in return, or worse, pull away? The way you react can influence what happens next. If you welcome her touch, maybe with a smile, a playful comment, or even a light touch back, she knows you're in the game. A positive response encourages her to take things further, upping the level of connection between you two. But if you pull away or ignore it altogether, she might interpret it as disinterest and back off. The light arm touch is sweet but loaded with potential. She's bridging the physical gap between you, testing the waters to see if you're open to something more. Pay attention, read the moment, and if the spark is mutual, don't be afraid to follow her lead. Sometimes, the smallest gestures speak volumes about her intentions. Touch number 2, the playful push. The playful push. It's not just a random shove, it's a classic move in the game of attraction. Picture this. You're in the middle of a fun, teasing conversation, maybe cracking a harmless joke or calling her out on that time she got a little too competitive at trivia night. Suddenly, she reaches over and gives you a light push on your arm or shoulder while laughing and keeping eye contact. If this happens, make no mistake, this is not an accident. Welcome to Flirtville. The playful push is her way of testing the waters. It's a move that says, I'm comfortable enough to touch you, but I'm going to keep it casual so you won't call me out on it. Breaking the touch barrier in this lighthearted way allows her to gauge your reaction. Do you smirk, push her back playfully, or flirtatiously grab her hand? If you pass this invisible litmus test, you might be on the fast track to something more. But why does she do it? Because this small gesture adds just the right amount of spark to make things interesting. It's loaded with a mix of attraction, curiosity, and a little hint of shyness. After all, not all women are going to come right out and say, "Hey, I like you." But this small physical connection speaks volumes. The key is how she follows up. The push is almost always accompanied by laughter, a smile, or a cheeky comment. These are signals that she's having fun and enjoying the vibes between you two. Now, your job? Respond in kind. Give her a playful nudge back or lean in to deepen the conversation. Flirting is all about the little things. Give and take. Match her energy and humor while subtly showing her you're just as interested. And trust me, if she's giving you that playful push, she wants to keep the chemistry sizzling. Touch number 3, the knee touch. The knee touch, subtle, yet oh so powerful. You're sitting next to her, maybe engrossed in a conversation or laughing at some silly joke when suddenly her hand grazes your knee. It could be just for a second, fleeting enough to seem casual, but make no mistake, this is not accidental. A move like this screams one thing loud and clear without saying a word. She's testing the waters for something more. The knee touch might feel like a light, almost innocent gesture, but don't underestimate its impact. It's a deliberate move that shifts the conversation from friendly territory into something much deeper.
Why?
Because the knee is neutral enough to not seem overly forward, but close enough to spark undeniable chemistry. It's her way of saying, I feel comfortable with you, while also leaving the door wide open for you to make the next move. This touch usually happens when you're sitting side by side, perhaps on a couch, at a bar, or anywhere close proximity isn't unusual. She doesn't explicitly verbalize her interest, but her actions do all the talking. When she places her hand on your knee, even for just a second, she's gauging your reaction. Will you pull away, laugh it off, or, better yet, welcome her advance? Touch number 4, the leg touch. So, why does she do it? Simply put, she wants to create a moment. It's a bold yet playful act that allows her to test the connection between you two without totally putting herself out there. She's dipping her toes in, seeing if you're ready to meet her in this flirty little game. Now, here's how you should respond. If you like where this is going, show her. Smile, flirt back, or even gently place your hand on hers for a brief touch. These affirmations signal that you're enjoying her attention and are open to exploring the spark she's igniting. Remember, the knee touch isn't just a random act, it's a green light. A little nudge to say, come closer. Don't miss out. Lean into the moment, literally or figuratively, and see where this electrifying interaction takes you. Touch number 5, the hair flip and touch. The classic hair flip, but with a touch of mystery and excitement. When it's accompanied by a light brush against your arm or shoulder, this move is intentional, calculated, and undeniably flirty. She's sending out signals louder than the music at a Friday night party, yet subtle enough to make you wonder, is this happening, or am I imagining things? Spoiler alert, it's definitely happening. This gesture sneaks into moments of eye contact or casual conversation. Picture this. You're mid-sentence, talking about your recent weekend adventure, and suddenly, she flips her hair like she's straight out of a rom-com, her fingers grazing your shoulder. That touch. Oh, it's not random. It's an invitation, a deliberate nudge to pull your energy toward her. Why does she do it? For starters, the hair flip alone is a symbol of attraction in body language. It draws attention to her face, her hair, her magnetic presence. But when she adds that featherlight touch on you, the meaning deepens. She's curious. Does her subtle move spark a reaction from you? It's her way of testing the waters, to see if you're tuned in and receptive to her charming advances. How should you respond? A playful smile, a quick compliment on her hair, or even something flirtatious like, was that little touch supposed to get my attention? Because it definitely worked. Paired with a warm smile, this lets her know you're catching every little move she's making. Bottom line, when she flips her hair and grazes your arm, don't underestimate it. It's a neon sign in disguise, flashing, I'm into you. Touch number 6, the accidental bump. You've probably experienced this one before. One of those subtle, yet oh so suggestive moments that leaves you guessing. The accidental bump is rarely as accidental as it seems.
Picture this.
You're walking side by side, engrossed in conversation, or maybe just soaking up the moment. Suddenly, your shoulders or arms touch. She might lightly brush against you, maybe move into your space, just a little too close in a crowded setting. It feels innocent on the surface. But is it really? Spoiler alert, it's not. This little gesture is her sneaky way of testing the waters, seeing how you'll react to her being in your bubble. It's not a full-on bear hug or anything intense, but it doesn't need to be. That brief, so-called accidental touch can be electrifying because of the subtle tension it creates. If she bumps into you and doesn't move away immediately, or even better, if she flashes a cheeky smile afterward, consider it a neon sign that she's intrigued by you. Why does she do this? Because it's low risk and playful. She gets to feel that tiny spark of contact while leaving you wondering whether it was truly an accident or something more intentional. It's her way of flirting without saying a word and gauging whether you're into her too. It's like dipping her toe into the pool before plunging all the way in. So, don't take that accidental brush off lightly. It's a calculated move disguised as something casual. Now, what's the best way to respond? Keep it light and flirtatious, just like her move. If the opportunity arises, bump her back gently and playfully, adding a teasing, "Hey, Watch where you're going with a smile. If she lingers after the bump, use that moment to make eye contact or throw in a compliment. The key here is confidence, without overdoing it. The accidental bump is her icebreaker. So meet her halfway and see where that spark leads you. Who knows? That little nudge might just be the start of a deeper connection. Touch number 7, the back touch. There's something undeniably intimate about the back touch. It's simple, yet it speaks volumes, without a single word being uttered. When a woman places a hand on your back, it's not a coincidence. It's a deliberate act of connection. This isn't just a friendly pat or a casual brush. This touch carries her interest, wrapped up in quiet confidence. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded space, and she gently guides you with her hand on your back. The touch, it's full of intention. Whether it's leading you through a doorway, standing close in a dimly lit room, or casually resting her hand there as you chat, it's her soft, unspoken way of saying she's got her eye on you. Her hand lingering on your back creates a connection, a signal that she's comfortable being physically near you and maybe even wants you to notice how her presence feels. Why does she do it? Because this touch is protective yet intimate, a way to show she wants to take care of you in her own way. There's also an element of trust here. She's willing to break the personal space barrier. Invisible barrier of personal space. This is an invisible barrier that defines personal boundaries, but when a woman breaks it to get closer to you, it's no coincidence. It's a clear sign that she wants to connect with you. If she places her hand on your back, don't ignore it. It's a signal of closeness and trust. How should you respond? Simply be aware and recognize this gesture for what it is. If she puts her hand on your back, take it as a sign of intimacy. You can reciprocate casually with a smile, eye contact, or even lightly placing your hand on her back in return. This touch is not just a fleeting gesture, it's an open door to her feelings. If you read the moment correctly, it might lead to something even more electrifying. Touch number 8, the intimate lean. The infamous shoulder lean, a subtle move yet packed with deep meaning. Picture this. You're sitting next to her on the couch, sharing a laugh, or maybe walking side by side when she suddenly rests her head gently on your shoulder. It may last only a few seconds, but trust me, there's nothing accidental about it. This is not just a casual move. It's her way of saying, "Hey, I feel safe with you," without uttering a single word. And what's more attractive than someone trusting you with that kind of vulnerability? The shoulder lean usually happens in moments of closeness, when you're relaxed, engaged in meaningful conversation, or simply enjoying each other's presence in comfortable silence. It's subtle, yet its meaning is deeply intimate. Sometimes, this touch speaks louder than kissing or hand-holding. It hints at her desire to connect with you on a deeper emotional level. Why does she do it? Simple, she's letting her guard down. It takes a lot to open up emotionally, and by making this affectionate gesture, she's showing you just how much trust and warmth she feels toward you. It's not just about comfort. It's about saying, "I'm comfortable enough with you to lean on you in more ways than one." How should you respond? Oh, this is where you shine. Don't overthink it. Just relax and enjoy the moment. Subtly shift your position to accommodate her. Maybe even rest your head lightly against hers if it feels right. Show her that you're equally comfortable with this closeness, and she'll feel even more drawn to you. After all, the shoulder lean isn't just flirtation. It's an unspoken invitation to something much deeper. You have her attention, now it's your move. Touch number 9, the leg brush. The leg brush, subtle, yet one of the most flirtatious gestures. Picture this. You're sitting close to her, maybe at a cozy table for two, or squeezed into a booth with friends. Then it happens, her leg lightly grazes yours. At first, you might think it's an accident. And sure, it could be. But when it happens a second time and then a third, yeah, that's no coincidence. This is a carefully calculated move to test the waters of physical intimacy. The leg brush is nonverbal communication served with a playful touch. There's a thrill in touching without making it too direct or obvious. For her, it's about closing the physical gap between you two while gauging your reaction. If you tense up or pull away, she might take it as a sign to stop. But if you relax or even lean into it, You're giving her the green light to keep the chemistry going. Why does she do it? Well, it means she's feeling bold and wants to subtly show her interest without saying it outright. The leg brush is her way of flirting playfully while keeping things light and fun. It's intimate enough to grab your attention, but not so forward that it feels like too much too soon. Trust me, if she's brushing her leg against yours intentionally, she's inviting you into her little world of flirtation. How should you respond? Keep it just as subtle as her move. Don't overreact or call attention to it. Instead, see how you feel about it. If you're just as interested, keep the contact. Maybe gently press your leg back against hers. She'll notice and she'll love it. Whatever you do, stay confident. This isn't about making a grand declaration. It's about sharing a silent moment filled with playful tension, one that says more than words ever could. Conclusion. Physical touch can speak volumes when words fall short. Understanding these subtle cues can deepen your connection. Whether it's the light touch on your back, the cozy lean on your shoulder, or the playful brush of her leg, every gesture carries hidden meaning. The key to understanding these signs is staying present, attuned, and confident in your interactions. Remember, it's not just about noticing the touch. It's about reading the intent behind it and responding in a way that builds the connection further. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Modern Stoic. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so our next video reaches you easily. Thank you.